Hello there everyone, today's video is all about the loss carryback rule. So if your business makes a loss, what typically tends to happen is that you've got a choice. You can carry that loss back to the previous year and get a refund of tax that you paid for that year, or you carry the loss forward to reduce your taxable profits and hence your tax bill in the future. Now, what was announced recently during the COVID pandemic, during the budget of 2021, was an extension to those loss rules, making them more attractive, if you will, insofar as you can go back further than the previous year. Because let's say, for example, you had such a big loss under the old rules that you could only go back 1 year, and maybe you hadn't utilized all the loss. So yes, you get a refund, but then you have to wait and utilize the rest of the loss in the future. But to help businesses from a cash flow perspective to get more tax back, the Chancellor said you can carry the loss back not only to the previous year, but to the 2 years before that as well. So you can go back 3 years. So the process for doing so is if your business has made a loss, and this is for year ends between the 1st of April 2020 and the 31st of March 2022. So you look at your business year end, and if it falls in between those dates from the 1st of April 20 to 31st of March 2022, then these rules can apply to you. So you make a loss. Now, if that loss is greater than 200,000, the claim must be made on the tax return. The tax return for the year that you make that loss. Tax return, otherwise known as the CT 600, and specifically box number 45. That's the box that you would tick to say you want to claim relief for an earlier period. So that's the mechanics. There's no need to go back and amend previously submitted tax returns for those previous years, up to 3 years prior. You don't have to amend them. They are deemed to be amended by the fact that you are putting in this claim now on the tax return for the year that you've made the loss. So administratively, pretty simple really. So that's what you would do. If your loss is not in excess of 200 grand, then you've got a choice. You could actually make what's known as a standalone claim outside of a company tax return, where basically you'd write a letter to HMRC and say, look, I've got these losses. Can you carry them back up to 3 years? Can I have my tax refund, please? Now, you might think, well, why would you want to do that? Because you would do a tax return anyway, surely, and you just claim it in the tax return like you would for losses in excess of 200,000. But if you think about it, often corporation tax returns are submitted not exactly quickly after the year end. Remember, you've got a year, 1 year after your year end to get that tax return in. So there could be a delay in it going in, which will then obviously delay any refund for the loss carryback. So you could, in theory, know what your loss position is in advance of preparing that corporation tax return. Then you get the standalone claim into HMRC. You set it all out. You say, look, these are my losses for the year. I want to carry it back up to the last 3 years, please. So that's just a bit of a procedural thing there on this new temporary loss carryback facility. Remember, if you've got losses in that 2 year period for accounts year ended 1st of April 2020 to 31st of March 2022, losses, you can go back beyond the usual 1 year. You can go back 3 years. And of course, reduce your tax of those years and get a tax refund. So just an overview there on the loss carryback facility announced in this year's budget. If you like this video, please do subscribe right there, and I will see you soon.